I've been crying for a little bit now, and I've been crying for a little bit now, and
Guys, the way Maurice cried on this video, guys, I thought is something else. But guys, this is a cry of regret. This is a cry of, oh, these are my consequences. And now, guys, we need to talk about this moment because honestly, when I watched that clip, I just paused for a bit. You know when someone is talking and you can't tell, you can tell it's not acting, like it's not branding, it's not cruise, it's not a package. That's the exact feeling I actually got. Like, this wasn't the usual motivational speaker vibe. Like, this was a man looking back at himself and not liking everything he saw. So guys, if you want to know actually what Maurice Sam cried out for, just make sure you watch this video to the end because a lot of things, guys, was just unfolded. Guys, Maurice finally opened up, and you could feel that this was coming from a place of deep reflection. Like, not the kind where someone is trying to gain pity, but the kind where you've sat alone with your thoughts for a long time. You know, when life humbles you quietly, not with noise, not with drama, but with consequences. That's the energy he came with. He spoke about his past action, and what struck me the most was that he didn't try to sugarcoat anything. He didn't stand there and say, people misunderstood me or social media twisted my story. No, it was more like I made choices and these choices spoke back to me. And honestly, guys, that level of accountability is rare, especially in public spaces where everybody wants to look perfect. Let's be honest, guys, Maurice Sam has always been confident, sometimes even perceived as too confident. And you know how it is, guys, when someone carries themselves boldly, people assume they have everything figured out. But guys, this moment showed something, like something else entirely. It showed that confidence doesn't cancel mistakes, like fame doesn't cancel consequences, and popularity doesn't protect you from lessons. He talked about his regrets, and I liked how he handled that word. He didn't wallow in it, he didn't dramatize it, he didn't acknowledge, like, he actually acknowledged it, like regret. When you handled well, it will not going to destroy you actually. It only teaches you. And that was actually the tone he used. He wasn't saying feel sorry for me. He was saying learn from me. What really hit me was when he reflected on how certain decision actually affected not just him but people around him. Because that's the part many people skip. We often think our actions are personal, that we are not accountable to ourselves. But no, our choices ripple. They touch relationships, careers, reputations, emotions. Sometimes damage isn't loud, but it's deep. You could tell that some of those consequences didn't come immediately. They came, lately, quietly. Mishelp, opportunities, broken trust, emotional weight. And if you've ever experienced delayed consequences, you know they can be heavier than instant punishment. Because by the time they arrive, you are older, wiser, and more aware of what you've actually lost. And let me say this clearly, guys. This wasn't a man blaming anybody. Not the industry, not friends, not women, not social media. That's what made it powerful. When someone owns their story without pointing fingers, you listen differently. He talked about growth and not the fake I've grown, by people shout online. Real growth is uncomfortable. It involves admitting you were wrong when being right, will protect your ego. It involves changing pattern, not just apologies. And from the way he spoke, you could tell that, growth cost him something. Growth usually does, actually. What I also picked up was maturity. There's a difference between being older and being mature. Maturity is when you stop reacting and start reflecting. When you stop performing for the crowd and start correcting yourself in private. That's where he seemed to be speaking from. And honestly, guys, this message goes beyond Maurice Sam. It's for anyone who thinks life will keep giving chances without accountability. Every action has a consequence, not because life is wicked, but because life is fair. What you sow is what you reap, sometimes slowly, sometimes loudly. But the most important part is that, you know, you must reap it. And that is why this video mattered. And honestly, guys, he didn't end in regret, he ended in hope. He emphasized that growth is always possible, no matter how bad your past decisions were, no matter how many bridges you burned. As long as you're alive and self-aware, you can still rewrite your story. That's the message a lot of people need to hear, especially in a world where cancel cultures make it seem like one mistake should define you forever. Growth doesn't erase the past, but it redeems the future. So if you watched that video to the end and you felt something, it's because it wasn't just about Maurice Sam. It was about all of us watching him, all of us fans, all of us people looking up to him. The choices we are making now, the ones we are ignoring, the ones we think, doesn't matter, will actually matter later. The moment wasn't weakness, it was strength. The kind that doesn't shout, but stayed with you long after the video ends. And honestly, guys, that's the kind of story that deserves to be listened to, not judged, not mocked, but understood. Because at the end of the day, guys, we all are just people trying to do better than yesterday. So, guys, Maurice's words spoken in regret on the consequences of his action, he came to realize that so many decisions that he made in life has actually made him not to be where he ought to be, actually made him not to, be who he wants to be. And at this point, he feels maybe he's wrong, or maybe it's too late for him, or maybe he should just pick the piece of himself and move forward. But then, guys, the regret is real. The regret is coming from, the innermost part of his mind. And this time around, guys, I just love the way he came clean and let everything. And that video was actually to let people know that once any decision you made that is wrong, the consequences is always there waiting for you. Anyway, guys, he didn't spill out the particular action that he took that actually brought up this consequence. But in your mind, what do you think was he actually pointing out at? Is it the ill decision or the wrong decision of choosing a life partner, or wrong decision of going into a relationship with the wrong person? I don't know. But guys, let me just know what you think he is pointing at, and what the consequences that actually brought the consequences upon him. Anyway, guys, if you've watched up to this point, have you subscribed to the channel? If you've not done so, please do so that I continue getting hot juicy gist just like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye for now.